Good morning and welcome. Welcome to Fight CPS with Bob Paste. I'm your host, and here are the talk about the child, what I call CPS, the Child Protection System. It's a government entity that was created in the 60s by an act of Congress that all children will be protected from neglect and abuse by social services. Now, there's different names in each county and each state that has social services. The child protection system, for instance, in my county, Orange County, is called the Child Protection Service, CPS. Next door in LA County, where my attorney, Vincent W. Davis, works out of, is the Department of Children and Family Services. And in Prescott, Arizona, it's called the Department of Children's Services, DCS. And in Richmond, Kentucky, it's called the Cabinet. So every state has various counties, like California has 50, North Carolina has 100. And each county has a name. And so it's really kind of hard to know all the names, but I try to get to know them all. But it's easy for me just to say CPS, and I define that as the Child Protection System, a government entity that's protecting children from neglect and abuse. Now, what is neglect and abuse? Well, neglect is that when you are not supervising a child, you don't feed them, you don't bathe them, you don't take them to school, you don't take them to the doctors. Those are forms of neglect. Maybe you leave drugs laying around and you get a hold of drugs. There's lots of neglect issues there. Now, the other area is abuse. And there's two kinds of abuse. There's physical abuse and mental abuse. Now, physical abuse is where physical harm is done to that child, such as shaking the child too rigorously, especially in infants with the head and the brain being developed. There's also slamming a child against a wall in your anger, or punching a child, or using physical force against the child. Also using any kind of devices such as belts and wooden spoons and those kinds of apparatus, branches that leave welts and marks on the child. We've moved on past corporal punishment. We now use timeouts as the norm for correcting a child's behavior. It's a simple process, these timeouts. These timeouts are really, really, really simple. And I'll talk about that briefly, but I would like to tell you what you can do in this room. You can write a comment or ask me a question. All I ask is your first name and your location, your city and state. And if you're outside of the United States, your country. Yes, I have about 30 countries I've talked to so far. Last week, I spoke to a lady in Scotland, Heather Stewart, and she talked a couple times, and she has extremely hard case. Her kids were removed, and they've been removed for I think a while, and now she's pregnant, and she doesn't know if they're going to take her child. So I'm here to help all people that have a question or concern, and also help them get an attorney. That is your key to success. If you think about anything more important, is you need an attorney. And why? Think about this. If you're going to have open heart surgery, are you going to have a plumber do it? Are you yourself going to try to do open heart surgery, or have a lay person? No, you're going to get a medical doctor who's trained and educated, gone through an internship, been licensed and practiced and mentor another doctor who can know how to do it, because that's a real critical um, operation. And so is dealing with CPS. They'll no longer it's now got to the point where now it's a money matter business to CPS. And I hate to tell you that 50% of the CPS entities are bad. 50%. And they use the police, which are bad too. They're about 50%. So I'm telling you, you got to be careful about CPS. And you need someone that can sit there and embrace the laws. You're working in the areas of dependency law, family law, and juvenile law. Those are three areas that are specialists. And you need an attorney trained in those areas and who's worked in those areas and has experience and knows how to fight them. And, that's really kind of hard. Now, I've talked to over 2,600 people and over the last 2.5 years. And I started this in October of 2023. And it is a continuous live stream 3 times a day. It's on at 8 o'clock in the morning, again on at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then 6 o'clock at night. Now, those times I'm giving you are the Pacific Daylight Time, PDT. And so we sprung forward this past weekend, and so we're hopefully everybody's an hour ahead of before last weekend. And so if you're on the East Coast, you're 3 hours ahead of me. I'm 3 hours behind you. If you're in England, you're 8 hours ahead of me, and I'm 8 hours behind you. If you're in Europe or Africa, you're 9 hours ahead of me. Why given those times? Because I have a lot of people that I've talked to in other countries. Some of the countries have been the Canadian provinces, and then over at the British Isles, I've talked to England, Scotland, Wales, and then in mainland Europe, have been various countries there. The Middle East, I have one country there. In Africa, I have about 4 countries in Africa, and then we go to India and Bangladesh and Indonesia, and then Australia and New Zealand. I've also talked to all 50 states, including Alaska and Washington, D.C. And so it's quite a big group. It's quite a big group. I'm glad to see a lot of people in the room this morning on Monday morning. Thank you for the emoji. What makes this show good is if you can write me a comment or a question and you can participate. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. Now, I want to thank Mr. Davis, who is my attorney, who can be your attorney, and his office number is scrolling across the bottom of my page. It's 888-888-8582. 6582. I correct myself. 888-888-6582. And when you call the office, you make sure that you tell the office staff there that Bob Pace sent you. And also you need to tell Vincent Davis when you talk to him that Bob Pace sent you. And so hopefully you can talk to him and get something worked out where he can represent you, because he is an attorney that has been fighting CPS for over 40 years. As I mentioned, he's well versed in dependency law, family law, and juvenile law. He also has a background in criminal law. He's a trial attorney. He also does civil law, where he does lawsuits against CPS, and one's successful. He's one of the 3 candidates that you should talk to. I always tell you to get 3 quotes, and I've just given you a quote. He works out of Arcadia, and it's in LA County. His retainer is approximately $5,000. His hourly wage is $550 an hour. But those are not in stone. It all depends on the complexity of your case, how long the case has been going on, and then how far you are from his home base. He'll go to any of the states out there. His quotes are all over the place. I know in Wisconsin, it was $125,000 retainer, but it's all different amounts. It all depends on there. And you're probably saying that's a lot of money. And I know that's a lot of money. That is really hard to come up with. I had to forever sell my forever home, my dream home I worked 45 years ago. But it was well worth it because your family is your most important thing. I do that. I'm still, I'm a 76-year-old dinosaur and I'm forever young, but I have 61 years of life skill and a lot of experiences in many areas, from being an ocean lifeguard to a marine animal trainer to a marine biologist to a restaurant manager to a working in civil engineering, heavy highway and construction. So, I also teach too. I have I've taught at universities and taught at colleges. So my background is pretty extensive. I've done a lot of work in volunteer organizations such as the Scouts and the American Red Cross. I have over 50 years with both of those. I have another um, 69 years of surfing. That's my sport. I also love football and rugby. Don't get me wrong there. I love all sports there. And I've been at the helm of many surfing organizations. I'm a pioneer because I have organized and started a lot of surfing contests and so forth over the years. So I do have an extensive background and I try to keep physically fit. Surfing is my sport. I like to keep my gills wet. So I try to hit out of the water. And so I'm an early riser. I'm 4 o'clock dawn patrol to check out the surf. And anyway, I'm here to help you with your needs and to take care of you um, and answer any question about CPS the best I can. Now, I'm not a lawyer. This is strictly for education purposes, but I can put you in touch with a good lawyer. Again, his name is Vincent W. Davis. Now, I'd like some questions up here so I don't have to sit here for the next 48 minutes of dry talking about something that you probably have heard already. My live streams are available. They're stored. They're also on Reels, on Facebook Reels. Now, I have 7 Facebook um, pages that hook up to this room, to this live stream, and 1 YouTube. That's a total of 8. So you probably found me that way. Also, there's a lot of you that have been regulars, and I really welcome you, and I thank you so much for keeping coming back and back. It makes nice. There's about 50 to regulars. And hold on one second. Hold on one second. I'm back. Um, Sorry for the interruption. I have one device at the moment. Normally, this live stream takes 2 devices, and one is my computer and one is my phone. Unfortunately, my new computer, after 6 months, one of the components went bad. The wiring, I guess, either got hot and broke or cracked or dried up, but the power, the AC adapter, the power cord itself is frailed and it will not get power to the computer. And a week ago, I went to the place where I bought it on warranty. They said no problem. They can give me a new AC adapter, but apparently it is coming from China. Um, I thought the computer was built in Japan, but I don't know why they're trying. It's not trying to get an aftermarket. I'm trying to get a replacement of the real thing. Well, I just found out that I got to go on my own and shop around and try to find it, pay them the money, then they reimburse me. So it's going to be a couple more days before I have both operations going. So for right now, you can text me, you can email me. That's why my number's up there on the screen. It's 626-698-0990. And my email is bobp at vincentwdavis.com. Now, if you want to be on my show where you can talk with me, we can talk together on the show. All you need to do is text me your first and last name, your location, city and state or country, and then your phone number and your email. And then I will get a hold of my show producer, Grace, who will help me get you a link to be on my show. I can take as many as 9 of you on this show at one time. You can text it or you can email me it. And I can email it to, I can text my show producer, Grace, with the information. So it is possible that you can talk on the show. All you have to do is be Grace. I right now have, I think, 1 or 2 people that are lined up that I'm trying to get to come on the show here. Now, it's about 45 minutes left of the show, and still I have no comments. The way this room works is that we respect one another. If we're live, we don't eat or smoke on the show. Also, we have no profanity, whether you're in chat or live on the show. We have no profanity. We abstain from that. Also, we try to stay away from politics. I know it's hard. It really is hard with the politics, especially what's going on now. But we're here to focus on the child protection system, how I can help you. And I have 5 rules that I've come up with that you can utilize. And if I had done those 5 rules, I know my children would never have been taken from me. But I was taken advantage of. And I made a lot of mistakes, and I'm going to relate those mistakes to you, as well as 2,600 people that have talked to me on this live stream. So there is valuable information you'll get from. For example, I have a gentleman from San Mateo, California. His name is David Helago, and he is a wonderful young man, and he has 2 children, a boy and a girl. Apparently, a year ago, his daughter was coached by his relatives for whatever reason. I have no idea that he's doing inappropriate things. You know, that's the hard thing with fathers these days. If you're a single dad, it's hard that all has come up. But anyway, there's improper behavior, which he had taken tests and he has been interviewed and so forth. He's not guilty of it, but the CPS in Santa Barbara County, which San Mateo is in, is investigating it and saying that he's guilty. So he came on my show, just like you all there, and he asked for some help, and I helped him. I got him in touch with Vincent W. Davis, who is a great attorney who's been fighting for him. And just recently, they've finished the case. The daughter is going to be returned to him within less than 45 days. They're starting the reunification. It's a long process. It's still going to be troublesome there. He spent a lot of money to get his daughter back, but I'm happy to hear that she is back. And Vincent did a wonderful job. Also, Vincent helped me because I too was a victim of CPS. In 2015, my 3 children were trafficked into the child protection system. They're abused and hurt in foster care, in shelters, in group homes, and in single homes of foster care. It's terrible how certain CPS systems are bad and corrupt. Remember, CPS has no accountability. They have no board of supervisors. They have no directors. They only have one director, a manager, and some supervisors, but there's no accountability. There's like a board of directors or a board of supervisors that review what they're doing. They get the money from Washington, D.C. freely given to the state. And the state will send out, the federal government send out billions of dollars, billions to the state, who in turn will send out millions to the county. No questions asked. We need $1 million. No problem. The only thing is the accountability. They're embezzling funds. There's a case right now in Richmond, Kentucky, where $1 million is missing. They found 600,000 of it embezzled by an employee working for CPS, a social worker. Took $600,000 personally. Now they're trying to figure out where the other 400,000 went to. Now I know for a fact in Orange County, California, that each one of my children that was trafficked into CPS was getting $20,000 from the state to the Orange County per child. That was $60,000. It does not cost $60,000 to raise a child or take care of a child. And I've also found out that they give bonuses to their social workers, whether they're competent or not. Because my social worker bragged every week about her new Gucci purse, her eyelashes, her makeup, her clothing, her BMW car. It went on and on. That's all she talked about when I saw her once a week. So I'm telling you, it's $1 trillion business. CPS is a lot like Alice in Wonderland. You fell in the rabbit hole and you encounter the Cheshire cat, and you're sent room to room to room, going nowhere. It is a very mind-boggling agency. They're not out to protect your rights as a parent. They don't like parents. They don't like elders. They don't like Indian children, which is sad. That same feeling has been going on for over 100 years. Is it 200 years now? I get confused. 1875 to 1975. It's been going on for 150 years that the American Indians, who are the first immigrants in this country, by the way, they are the first Americans. They came over from Asia, over to Alaska from the Asia. There used to be a place that was above seawater, and they migrated. They walked. As you know, man started a long time ago, about 50,000 years ago. And it originated, they have the oldest person, I think, from Africa. And as people migrated and gone east and west, settling in Europe and then going to the east, they walked in. So the first people of North America, what we call the Indians today, they may have different names back then, but anyway, a lot of the today Indians are about 10,000 years old in their former makeup and composition. There's a lot of different kinds of men, and I'm not here to talk about history. I know a lot about it, but there's different types of men. There's one particular, the Homo sapiens are the current men that we have, but we have the Neanderthal, and I probably pronounced that wrong, but they're big, savage people, bigger than Homo sapiens. But people I'm talking about, anyway, the first immigrants, their children have been abused by CPS for over 150 years. Ever since they started in the 1870s, rounding up people and putting on reservations. I think it's been going on since the early 1800s, but in the West, the last tribes, the Lakota Sioux and the tribes there, the Cheyenne, and were rounded up and put onto the reservations. They have an act called ICWA, the Indian Child Welfare Act of 1978. It's an act by Congress that gives the Indians their rights to help their children that may have a CPS matter. So if CPS has gone out to investigate a Indian child and the parents identify that they're Indian, they have to show that they're registered with one of the federal recognized tribes. And usually the tribes will recognize anybody that's 25%. Right now, supposedly, there's only 50,000 to 100,000 real 100% blooded Indians left. They've been inseminating slowly. I mean, at one time, they're in the millions. And so, anyway, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is I'll help all you Indian children. I just had Happy Feet the other day text on the show from Arizona. She is her husband is a full-blooded Indian, and his children are 50% Indian, and so that tribe has the right to help their children that are CPS matters. So what happens is CPS, once they identify, they're supposed to do so. But what has happened is CPS is ignoring the tribe and the people in Prescott, Arizona. And not Prescott, Arizona. I forgot what town she is. I bring up Point Prescott because there was bad social workers there. There was 7 of them that thought it was funny that they could go out and buy pink T-shirts and stencil on the front of their T-shirts, they're professional child kidnappers. And on the back of the T-shirts, they put, "Parents, do you know where your children are at?" And then they paraded around in the city of Prescott. And the townspeople were appalled by it. Prescott is known for the Billy Jack movies of the late 60s, early 70s. There was a period of time in the late 60s, this again with the Indians, called American Indian Movement, AIM. And there's all kinds of skirmishes, even today, I mean, even then, back then, because they had another Wounded Knee incident where federal agents killed an Indian, and it was held by Indians again for about 75 days. It was really tough about that incident. There was also movements in Washington, D.C. in 69, and then I think in Mount Rushmore, I forgot what period of time was, a group of Indians were trying to take over. It's, by the way, Mount Rushmore is in the hills of the Black Hills, which is sacred land to Lakota Sioux. And today they still own the Black Hills. They're not giving up their rights. They had a treaty, and General Custer broke the treaty by discovering gold and opening it up. And they've been so many broken treaties. But anyway, Indians are being persecuted. So I can talk about a lot of things, but I look forward to y'all. If you have something to ask me, it'd be really nice if you text me a comment or text me a question. Just write in the chat there, and I can help you on that. Now we're at the halfway mark in the show. We had a lot of people in the beginning, and a lot of people dropped out. I don't know if Monday morning is a good time or a bad time. I've been only doing this now for 2.5 years. And I do these 3 shows a day, day after day. I've already done, see here, as of last Sunday, yesterday, I've done 25 shows, because I did 3 a day from Sunday to Sunday. That's 8 days. That's 24. And I did 1 on Saturday. That's 25. Yeah. I've done 25 live streams, and they're all recorded. You can see them. That we have a library here on StreamYard. The shows are put on the Reels, Facebook Reels, so you can see it there. So if you miss anything, I do talk about my case that happened in 2015. I do talk about the 5 rules that you need to be careful about with CPS, and also about how to get an attorney. Now, again, the attorney is the key to success. Without an attorney, you're going to be lost. Welcome, who just came in the room. Please, when you come in, um, please ask me a question or comment so I can help you. Oh, they dropped out. I have 3 thumbs up. I assume that's from people that have been in here before. But I do want to help you. They're back again, so people are popping in and out. Now, I'm only talking about things related to CPS, but no one's in here is asking questions, and I'd love to have a question from somebody or a comment, a question or a comment about CPS, the Child Protection System is what I call it. Now, there are 5 rules I've developed. Rule number 1, I've been talking about early, is to get an attorney. There are 3 types of attorneys. There is your paid attorney, there's your court appointed attorney or public defender, and then there is the pro bono attorney. Now, a paid attorney is what it sounds like. They're paid. A court appointed or public defender is that you don't pay them, CPS pays them. And then the pro bono is there for free. Now, the best ones are the paid attorneys because you need an attorney trained in the areas of dependency law, family law, and juvenile law. Those 3 areas of law is what CPS is in there. It's the dependency law that CPS utilizes. But there's things in family law and juvenile law that come together with that. So you need to at least talk to 3 attorneys before you hire one, because you need to establish first if they qualify, second, if you have the chemistry, meaning that you and them work together. And so first is your qualification. And as I told you, you know the backgrounds. And so it's very important that you search for them. So I have another rule. I believe it's rule number 4, that you research the internet. You learn how to search the internet because a lot of things you find about CPS are on there. But the key to success of researching CPS is the way you format your words. Now, there's lots of search engines besides Google. There's ChatGPT, and then other search engines that are AI that have come up. I think the one is called DuckGoDuck. There is a Safari. Let me see what else. Oh, there's I think Cruel on X, which used to be Twitter. Anyway, you need a search engine, and the way you ask in that search engine is the formation of your words. You start off with the city and the state, or if you're outside the United States, you put the country, city and country. Then you use capital letters and type in CPS. Now, what will happen is a lot of things will come up. If you want to filter in CPS, you need to put some more words. The more words you put, the more filter it is. And so if you're looking for a lawyer, you put a lawyer or attorney. And then you put the area of expertise, family law, juvenile law, dependency law. You're looking for a pro bono attorney in family law, dependency law, and juvenile law. You put that in there. You're looking for what is a 388 motion, what is a 150 hearing, what is a 160 hearing. You put that in there. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to use something that is very beneficial. You should spend, I would spend probably 4 hours a day, because I know your day may be completed there, but it takes about 4 hours a day to research. And you should spend weeks and weeks, if not months, because every time your case is going on, every day you should look something up. And I say, you need to get that attorney. Now, a lot of you probably financially can't afford the $5,000 or $550 an hour a day. Now, there's lots of ways you can finance that. You can finance it by having legal insurance. Now, legal insurance, a lot of people don't think about it. It's the same thing as household insurance, car insurance, life insurance, pet insurance, maintenance. There's so many different kinds of insurance you can purchase today. If your refrigerator goes out, there's insurance for that. If their car breaks down, there's insurance for that. Um, you know, added insurance for earthquake and floods are important on your household insurance. Um, you got to pay extra premium for that, but it's all affordable. But one area we seem to forget is legal. And I know that there's cheap legal insurance, which is like Legal Zoom, which only helps you with wills and trusts and simple matters. But a complex matter like CPS or like say DUI, or any other criminal crimes or whatever, you need something that would help you hire an attorney. Because the only key to success to get yourself out of trouble or to correct matters is have someone that is qualified that knows. And Vincent Davis is that guy. He has over 40 years of fighting CPS. He's got back children. He's also done civil lawsuits and won millions of dollars against CPS. Things like social workers committing perjury when they're testifying. There's lots of things. They violated your Fourth Amendment, your Sixth Amendment. There's a lot of amendment rights, and they can sue them there. So it's suable, but it's done when the case is over. It's done when the case is over. Now, so you know how to search the internet. Now you're going to look up your attorney. And when you look at attorneys, you want to view their webpage. Now, attorneys, when you look at them, you look at them for that background in CPS, dependency law, family law, and juvenile law. And you try to find at least 5. Why I say 5? Because you're going to interview 3 and pick 1. The reason why it's 5, maybe one of the 3 interview doesn't work out. So you find 5, you interview 3, and you pick 1. And when you pick one, it's based on the chemistry when you meet them. You don't have to meet 3 attorneys. You don't have to meet, you have to meet 3, but you don't have to meet 5 in there. And when you call the law firm to schedule an appointment to see them, if that's, you need to ask 2 questions. So you don't want to schedule a time to answer the 2 questions. Question 1 is you ask them, do you guys have an attorney? Or if you're speaking to an attorney, are you trained and educated in family law, juvenile law, and dependency law? Those 3 areas of law. And have you ever fought CPS and won a case? The answer is yes. You go to the next question. The next question is, after the case is over, have you ever sued CPS and won a case? The answer is yes. I think you got yourself one of the 5 candidates. So you do that. Now, I've already given you one, Vincent W. Davis. I already given you his fees and so forth. So what you do is you get 5 of those people, and then with 3 of them, you're going to make those phone calls. Well, you make the phone calls with 5 of them, I guess. And then you set up the time to meet and talk to them. And when you go and talk to them, you go to establish if they have good chemistry, if you feel comfortable. But you're going to have a retainer available, unless it's court appointed or pro bono. Now, the disadvantages of taking a court appointed attorney is they don't work for you, so they will not fight for you. They also are just fresh out of law school and not well experienced in the areas. They may not have nothing in dependency law, family law, or juvenile law. A criminal attorney cannot help you. That is not what their field is. A attorney that specializes in workman's comp can't help you. There's lots of attorneys out there, and a lot of people make mistakes and hire an attorney just by the money, or they don't look at it, they don't investigate it, or look at it better like that. So we have about 20 minutes left. I would like to have someone say a comment or make a question that can I can answer and can help you all. I can answer and help you all. Anyway, it's Monday morning on the West Coast. I'm broadcasting this from Surf City, USA, south of Los Angeles, 3 blocks from the beach. And I do value your time in here. I just need some questions from you all. Now, we are talking about my rules right here, and I'm hoping that we get more questions or comments. I have several people in the room. All you need to do is give me your first name, the city and state or country you're calling from, or not calling from, but texting from, and your question or comment. Your question or comment. And I will gladly help you out there. I gladly will help you out there. Now, and we're here to talk about the child protection system. It's a government entity that has really gone bad. I'm going over my 5 rules, and one of them is the attorney. Now, rule number 2 is a real important one. It's a notebook to keep track of all your CPS matters. You should get the biggest notebook you can find, something about 6 inches thick. And in there, you're going to put dividers that'll organize your material. So you organize your social workers' paperwork from CPS. Then there's be the court paperwork. There may be school paperwork or other paperwork, but you organize it by something easy that you'll find. You label it. You also should put in all your parenting class certifications and any programs that you're taking certifications. Some of the programs are domestic violence, which is a 52-week class that lasts a year. It's once a week. There's also 6-month drug rehab or 12-month drug rehab, which can help you with your addictions to drugs or even to alcohol. Alcohol and drugs are not good with children. You as a parent has to be fully aware of your surroundings and how to take care of a child. If you're under the influence, how can you take care of a child? Your child now is in danger, and your child will be taken from you. So that's some of the things I can help you with. Keep in mind, the best parents are the biological parents. the best parents are the biological parents. And we, studies have found that they can take care of our children. So at all costs, CPS should and must help the parents with a safety plan. Problem is, 50% of them are bad and they're not going to be so enthusiastic. Also, you'll probably be taking drug tests, whether once a week or once a month, but you'd have to take drug tests. And so the results should be put in the notebook there, so you have those. Also, you want to put in the notebook anything else you have, and you need to create 2 documents along with the notebook. One you can put in the notebook, which is the timeline incident log. Every incident you have, you can log it on notebook paper. And you could get a book for that. And the first 3 lines are devoted for every incident. So you can get, there's a lot of books that have lined paper in them. And you can put your incident time log into that book. And it's really easy to find things because you do them by date. You do it by dates. So your oldest date will be first, and then the newest date will be the last page you wrote in there. Now, in this timeline incident log, and you can use notebook paper if you want to. You can use a journal or notebook paper, or ring paper, binders, I think they're called. Anyway, you need to have something that the material is secured and you can organize. So the first sentence or the first line is you put the date and time of the incident. And then you put the phone number or the location of the incident. You called in, it was something related to that, or you were a visit, or you visit them, whatever, you put that in there then. Then you put the people that were involved, you and whoever the children or whatever the people mean, and you put them involved. That's all the first line. The second line is a 1-sentence summary of what the incident's about. Something you could recognize or refresh your memory and talk about. Now, the third line is the outcome of the incident. Now, with this third line of the outcome of the incident, you can put in, again, a 1-sentence summary. If you don't know the outcome, leave the space blank, skip a space, and write the next incident. Or skip a space and write the next incident. And hello there, Crystal Frankenberg. I would love to help you. And thank you for your request. What part of the world are you? What is your city and state? Or if you're outside the United States, what's your city and country? Crystal, all they need to know is, and your name's easy, it's Crystal, so that sounds great. But where are you from, Crystal? We have a comment in the room. And thank you for the hearts, too. I appreciate the hearts. I would love to help you, Crystal. What is your CPS case? Where are you located? All right, we're waiting for him. I've been talking about my rules. I've been talking about the notebook and how important it is. I've been talking about the timeline incident log. And so you repeat each of them as they happen with those 3 sentences, those 3 lines, the 3 lines that fill out there. And they can do that. Sorry, I hit the wrong button and took me out of the room there. We have Crystal in the room, and I'd love to help you, but then she disappeared. I would love to help you, Crystal. Anyway, back to my rules. It seems this morning I'm going to do nothing but just talking, and boy, it can be tough to talk for an hour. I think anybody. I mean, I am telling stories and a little bit I'm trying to make it as humorous as possible. And it's a tough area, this child protection system is. Really, really, really tough. We have about 10 minutes left here. And we were talking about the notebook and the paper thing, the instant timeline log. The other thing is you need to start a journal to your kids of what's happening every day. And it just could be just 15 minutes of what you did that day. And it's something that they can read because if you do not get back to your children or something happened to you, heaven forbid, they have something to look at. Also, help you a little bit writing each day. You can tell them I miss them, I love them, I had a long day, I got a job, or I lost a job, or I met with a social worker. Um, Things are going better. I'm trying to get you guys back. I miss and love you guys. Anyway, it's a journal to your family members, and it's mainly for the children because you have to understand when a child is in their hands, they don't hear anything about how the parents are doing or how things were met. There's nothing. They're left completely in the dark, completely in the dark. Okay, we are here about 9 minutes left here, and we've been talking about the paperwork of things, how important it is to organize your paperwork. So to sum it up, you create that notebook 6 inches thick. You put all your social work papers in there, and all your court papers and everything else that's related to CPS. And you use tabs. You organize it. You put your certificates up there, your drug test results, your program certificates, and those things. Anyway, the notebook should be something that when you look at it 6 months later, you'll remember where things are at. Now, the rule number 3 is you never talk to social workers without your attorney. I did talk about attorney, the 3 types: the paid attorney, the pro bono attorney, and the court appointed or public defender attorney. And the problem being is that why you don't want to talk is because you'll say something that will be worked against you. And you are in your rights, your legal rights, to have representation at all facets of your illegal matter. Um, when a knock comes to the door today, it's not safe. Too many people have been killed with knocks at the door. Uh, a woman was shot in the face 5 times. A man was shot in the chest 5 times. It goes on and on and on. And you never know who's at that door. Now, a lot of you may have video cameras, which is good. If you see a policeman or what looks like a social worker with an ID tag or somebody you don't recognize together, then that's alert that you got some type of legal matter. And in your rights, you have all rights not to answer the door. Um, Another thing is that people are blind. So you got to be careful because they may see you trying to peek through and they know you're home. The illusion you want to present to the people on the other side of the door is no one's at home. So you try to stay away from the door, make sure you don't open it, or family members don't open it. Now, you could have a special knock or a special ring for your door so that other family members can come in or so forth. But it isn't safe no longer to not lock your door, to let people in. It's your constitutional right to have an attorney present at all facets of your legal matter. So it's okay if you don't open the door. Now, there's only three ways you can come into the house. Either they get your permission, you see here, if you accidentally do let them in, try not to say very much and tell them that, ask them, your first question to them, or you should be to, hi, how can I help you? And they may say what they're there for, but then your next thing is you can ask them, since it's the policeman or soldier, is this a legal matter? And if they say, yes, this is a legal matter, then you say, I need to get my attorney present. We'll have to reschedule this visit another day. You take their information, phone numbers and names, and agency, and then you contact your attorney and tell them what's up. Your attorney will give you advice what to do and not to do. So that's what's important. That's what's important. You don't want to say too much, because everything you say will be used against you. If they want to search your house or start to search your house, tell them you don't have my permission to search the house. Tell them, and to legal representations here, I cannot talk to you. And whatever you do, don't give up your children. They have a tendency to take your children no matter what. The child's got to be in immediate danger. Immediate danger, meaning that something could happen to them, their well-being. So you may be powerful and so forth, but in these cases, you need to be humble and very respectful to this agency that so if you're outside and you encounter them, do the same thing. Make sure you identify if it's a legal matter, and you can help them about that. Also, there's something called medical trafficking. What's been happening lately is that urgent care or the emergency room at the hospital, there's social workers, and they're listening and over listening to what's going on. If they come to talk to you, if they identify them that they're a social worker or whatever, tell them if this is a legal matter, that I need to have representation and my attorney present. Whatever you do, do not surrender your child. If you're in the hospital to deliver a baby, again, don't surrender the baby. I know it'll be hard, but you can do it. Well, my time is up. I need to end the show with a really great video. It should put you in good spirits. Please watch it. And again, I hope to see you all at 1 o'clock this afternoon or at 6 p.m. this evening, and that is Pacific Daylight Time, PDT. So, God bless you. Enjoy the video and have a beautiful day.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted, and if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce him. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the
last ones left.